All right, well, let's break out the baseball and go over some grips.
So traditional four seam, I think it's pretty standard. I like to keep my fingers closer together. I was farther apart. I keep them closer together now. Only thing is I try to keep the blue label in facing me. I don't know if it impacts hitters, but if I can kind of keep the ball looking as white as possible, that's what I try to do. Yeah, so that's like traditional four seam. Not much to it. Just grip it and rip. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And what's your best bolt? What's the highest you've topped out at?
In a game, 99.8, I think, is my best volt. But I've been trying to hit 100 for a while, and I can't do it. My last outing I was 99.6, and that was like my outing before that was 99.6. I'm at that threshold right now where it's like I don't know what I need to do, but maybe try a little less hard. I don't know.
I think it's after this interview, you're going to hit 100, and we're going to talk about the fact that we discussed this, and we're going to manifest it. It's going to happen.
I just need to hit ones because it'll round up on the TV, and it's not real. It's not it's not real. So, but yeah, two seamer, pretty standard. Fingers close together again. Try to hook my thumb a little bit on the bottom. I feel like it helps me keep my fingers on the laces a little bit better. But yeah, that's pretty standard. Another pitch where you just kind of grip it and rip it. I'm not really.
And you don't care how it comes out of your hand, particularly like you're not looking at it on edge or anything like that to see. You're just gripping and ripping, and you got it.
Right now it is a little bit more vertical than in years. Like it's getting a little bit more vertical break than I would like. So maybe that is something I can, cue in on, especially in my next bullpen. But I'm really just looking for horizontal movement on that pitch. It says sinker, but I'm not really looking for traditional sink. I'm just looking for horizontal to where I can make the plate look a little bit wider. If I'm going up and into a righty, I can make the ball start a little in off and come back on for a strike. And then if I can do that, then I can my slider works a little bit better down in that area. And if I can go up and into lefties, they don't like that pitch a ton. So instead of sticking a four seamer in there, it's kind of a little bit more difficult because you just feel like you have a little bit less space. So if I can just throw a two seamer right down the middle high and let it kind of run, it's a little bit easier for me to get in there and kind of open up the outer half of the plate. Changeup, like traditional kind of circle change. I'm really just two seamer like this. I'm just replacing this finger with the ring finger, and I'm not trying to pronate. I'm not very good at pronating. I'm more of a cut changeup guy and seam shift and all that cool stuff that I don't quite understand all the way, but I do it. So yeah, just trying to cut the ball, keep this part of the baseball, on the top and kind of let gravity do its thing.
That's what I was going to ask about, because that is the seam shifted wake type of thing, the way the seam is catching it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to keep like where this little, the smooth part right above my knuckle, I'm trying to just keep that part of the ball kind of up and let gravity and the seams kind of take it down into the left. I'll cut those too, so that's cool too. I'll actually cut them on accident, which I know the catchers don't like, but the hitters don't seem to hit the cut ones either. So I'm like, whatever. I'm sorry, guys, but hang with me.
Yeah, if the catchers can't catch it, the hitters can't hit it. I mean, they have a big piece of leather. Let's talk about that, though. When did that become like the most ridiculous? Like, it is one of the best changeups in baseball, like whiff wise and everything. Like, when did that become that? And is it because of your aggressiveness too? Like your aggressive motion to the plate, I think sells it maybe better than other people sell it. I don't know.
Yeah. So I stopped trying to pronate last year. I used to try and pronate, and I'm not good at it. I'm more of a supinated oriented guy. I'm better at getting the ball left to right than I am right to left. So that was another thing that kind of happened through my rehab was like, they're like, hey, we think you're a great candidate for this. I feel like everyone's kind of seen that, they color the ball and, you throw it, and it came very naturally to me. And it feels like I don't have to manipulate a ton to get the ball to do what I want. So I think without pronating, I think the command of the pitch, I got just way more confident in my command and my ability to throw it in any count. And, honestly, like I think with the pitch column, the pitch just says like, usually it's like fastball down and away or slider, down and in. It's like, I just get changeup. It just says changeup, and the catcher sets up right down the middle, and I just throw it down the middle, and then I'll let counts kind of dictate how much down I'm trying to go. But I think that just like back to the whole simple thing, it's like simplify it, throw it in the strike zone a ton, and let the velo separation and the movement profile kind of create the swing and miss and chase that you kind of want it to. And then I feel like I can be as aggressive as a heater, sometimes even more. I feel like sometimes the harder I throw it, I can really sell that fastball that they think is coming, and then get the separation that I'd like. So I think there's kind of a mixture of things, but I think once I stop trying to pronate and just kind of let the natural supination and then kind of let physics, is that the right word? Physics take over?
Yeah, let's go with physics.
Yeah, is that the right word? Let physics take over and get the ball to do the right thing. I just got confident in my ability to throw it whenever. So I think that also helps.
And it may be because you don't pronate it that you're able to do the seam shifted way. Because if you did, you may shift the ball so that the seams aren't going to be
exactly. Yeah, guys that are really good pronators, they don't have to really worry about. They're just like, oh, this is my changeup. I can get on this side of the ball. Whereas like when I do that, it just doesn't feel good. And it's hard for me to like, okay, I'm going to throw a strike. I need this ball to go 60 feet, 6 inches. I need it to be over the 17 inches of the plate, but I'm also doing something like I'm trying to really pronate. It's like I have no feel for where to throw the ball, where to start it, where to release it, to where now when I feel like I'm just like throwing a heater and letting the ball kind of do its thing.
Yeah, there's just multiple ways to do it, and not everyone's Devin Williams, just like ridiculous 3,000 RPM.
Yeah, I've played catch with him, and I'm like, dude, that is the most insane pitch I've ever seen someone throw to me. And like, I totally get why it's like the airbender. That's the pitch. That's the name of it. Like,
Yep.
I'm like, I totally get why that. I've never seen a ball out of a right-handed guy spin the way that his spins. It's insane. He threw one to me, and I was like, all right, let me see it. Like, I got to see one. And he threw one, and he's like, all right, this is the good one. And then threw the next one, and I was like, dude, I don't even know how you throw that. I was like, how do you throw that? And he's talking me through it. I was like, I simply can't do that. So thanks.
Yeah, like I had him on, and he's got just a ridiculous. Like some guys are really good supinators, some guys are really good pronators, and he's one of those guys that is absurd in his ability to turn it over and throw it like a reverse slider type thing, reverse curveball. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They told him it sucked. Actually, they said his his changeup was probably going to suck because it spun too much. And how'd that work out?
Yeah, I've had there's been pitching coaches that even at the professional level in the past where they're like, hey, your slider's not good because there's no movement, but it's like gyro slider is kind of one of the best sliders in the game. If I can get a bullet spin slider, that's a really good slider. So yeah, I think the game has taken a huge jump in analytics and understanding pitches too.
You make a really good point, because so many people were enamored with the sweeper. Like, oh, we got the seam shifted wave sweeper. It's going to break 20 inches, blah. It has to work with what you got. And absolutely, a lot of people are going back to gyro sliders because it's effective. You could throw it harder. Hard sliders are nasty and hard to hit.
Really good.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got one. So why try to change that?
Yeah. So I mean, this is my slider. Back to the grip thing too, if we're gonna talk sliders. This is my slider. It's kind of, I'm trying to pull this part of my finger straight down. It's not what happens, but that's my cue to get the ball to, to kill vert on it. But yeah, I'm trying to throw this pitch hard and kill vert and create, soft contact and also some swing and miss there too, and get the ball on the ground. So that's the goal with this pitch. I tinker with this pitch more than any pitch that I have, because I want that. Like Kershaw has the most beautiful slider, and I want that slider. I'm like, that's my goal, is to get that pitch profile. His is like 0 to 2 positive vert, sometimes negative vert, and like 6 horizontal. And it's like 89. And me and him are pretty similar over the top. He obviously has the famous curveball. I don't have that. And he's a Hall of Famer, but I just want his slider. So like this is the pitch I'm always tinkering with, and I'll keep doing it, I think, until I actually get it. And then once I get it, I'll probably keep tinkering with it to see if I can. But yeah, I'm trying to get this pitch, 88, 89, and just get that profile that I think is perfect for that, that gyro kind of little left to right. But his slider is like, that's my dream slider. If I could get that profile every single time, that's the dream.
I mean, I think it would work really well with your stuff. And I mean, look, your slider's pretty darn good too. But
yeah, no, I like my slider. You know, it's the pitch that I know I can do. So I haven't figured out the right cue or the right grip, or it's actually gotten a lot better this year relative to last year. I've been able to kill like 4 inches more vert than last year, just based on spring training reports from this year to last year. And I've added about 3 inches of horizontal movement. So it's close. Like it's like that. It feels like it's like dangling a treat right in front. I feel like I can do it, and then I do it once, and then I can't do it again, and it's like it's what makes the game fun, though. You know, it's those little adjustments, and I know I'm close. I haven't got there yet, so it's fun though. It is fun. I like to obsess and kind of geek out about that stuff too. But
yeah, I mean, it's like I always view it like a little bit like golf. Like that's why golf's so fun. Is you're in control of everything. You're in control of throwing a baseball. You should be able to do it the same way every time, but you can't. Like, and you can't hit a golf ball the same way every time. You just can't. Like, it's a little thing, doesn't move, can't do it. But you're in control.
You need that one good shot, a hole, to where it's like, oh, that was a good hole.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You strike the ball once, well, that, like, whether it be the drive or the approach shot or the chip, and it's like, hey, I'll come back tomorrow because of that shot on 17, even though I shot a 92. That shot on 17, that drive on 17, like, I love this game, so. But yeah, and then last pitch is curveball. I don't know if this is unique, but I don't even put my pointer finger on the ball at all. Like, there's some still shots where my finger's literally pointed straight up like this, but kind of grip the horseshoe this way, and then thumb on the lace, and then I'm just trying to throw like basically karate chop it straight down, and that's that pitch. This finger, when I put this finger down, I don't get as much vertical drop. It kind of morphs into like a hybrid slider thing, and I like to keep those pitches a little bit separate, just from a velocity standpoint and a pitch profile standpoint, just so that way things don't look the same. So yeah, this is the curveball. I'm hoping to get this pitch more of a weapon this year. I think I can kind of get some chase below the zone if I can tunnel it the right way off the heater, and keep the velo up on it. So that's the goal for this year for that pitch.